Welcome to Really American. I am Michael Hayne. Let's get going. Now, ever since Republicans decided to bend the knee and pay fealty to a deranged, psychotic, criminal con man, malignant, narcissistic traitor, they have essentially alienated all moderate voters and independents. Enter the Lincoln Project. The Lincoln Project is basically a political action committee made up of disaffected Republicans who actually may hate Trump more than I do. It consists of Rick Wilson, Steve Schmidt, and George Conway. Now, these fellas have been putting out some pretty snarky and next-level ads and content that brilliantly hit at the heart of MAGA. Well, heart, should I say, anus of MAGA. Anyway, they have been devoting oodles of money to defeating Trump and Trumpism. Anyway, they most recently put out an ad that appears to not only strike at Trump, but essentially paints President Biden as this strong, robust leader who is quite patriotic and did the most patriotic thing by stepping aside and handing the torch to the next generation in Kamala Harris. Let's take a look at that.
Joe Biden isn't the man he was 20 years ago. He's older. He carried a heavy burden. Some days it really showed. But he's also wiser, more experienced, which is why he not only had the courage to pass the torch to Kamala, but the character to put America first. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is exactly who he was 20 years ago. A fraud, a criminal, a liar, a fool. A man who never kept a promise in business or to his family. A man without integrity, honor, or courage. Every day with Donald Trump is just more of the same. More lies, evasions, and attacks. He's just as selfish, small, petty, and full of hate and vengeance as he ever was. This election will be many things to many people, but the undeniable truth is that it's between a prosecutor and a criminal, between justice and corruption, between the hard truth and the big lie, between a candidate who wants to leave America a future and a criminal who can only cling to the past. The choice is still clear. It's America or Trump. It's Kamala or MAGA. It's us or them. Kamala Harris for president.
Bam! Right in the kisser. Now, as we all know, these elections are always about the undecided voters, the moderate voters, those in the suburbs. Well, we already know Kamala Harris is having a pretty enormous appeal with them. As I mentioned in a previous video, a Nikki Haley voters pack is now fully embracing a Kamala Harris run and is doing what they can to help catapult her to the Oval Office. But we also can't dismiss the insane amount of money and enthusiasm surrounding Kamala, which will help her continuously target these swing districts in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. She also just got the endorsement of former President Barack Obama. But what's most significant about that is, she has now surpassed the amount of money that Obama helped raise for Hillary Clinton in 2016. I believe that was to the tune of $150 million. She surpassed $200 million in a week alone.
Vice President Kamala Harris is hitting the ground, not just running, but literally sprinting, because it's just about 100 days that she has to make her case to the American people. This weekend, the Harris coalition is hosting more than 2,300 events to motivate voters in key swing states. The campaign has more than 250 battleground offices to organize in the months ahead. And since Sunday, 170,000 new volunteers, these numbers are insane, have joined the campaign effort. Joining us now, MSNBC political contributor and White House correspondent for Politico, Eugene Daniels, and former Republican Communications Director, Tara Setmeyer. She is a resident scholar at the University of Virginia Center for Politics. And I should also know, and she is smart, honey, smart. And Mr. Daniels is now the president of the White House Correspondents Association.
Yeah, he happy too.
Yeah.
been a busy time.
After the week he's had. So Tara, you and I have been having a lot of fun over the last week just watching the politics evolve around the vice president and how she's been able to transition from behind the curtain, if you will, to the main stage. What's your assessment of this transitional week for her? As Simone mentioned, 170,000 people. Think about that. Volunteered within like a 3 or 4 day span to work on her campaign. Raised well over $100 million, and seemingly has started to get under Donald Trump's skin.
I think there's one word, and it's reinvigorated. The country, the voters, the Democratic base is reinvigorated, and that's evidenced by what we've seen since last Sunday. It hasn't even been a week, people. It hasn't even been a week. Okay. Wow. And in this time frame, we've got Donald Trump and MAGA and J.D. Vance playing defense. They're talking about couches and cat ladies, and we're talking about Kamala and record-breaking activity, whether it's fundraising, whether it's the grassroots organizing. I'd say it's a pretty great week for the Democrats. They need to maintain this, right? We talked about it's only 100 days. It is a sprint at this point now. It's not a marathon. We are in the final day.
Look, Democrats can probably chill. I think they finally got this. Stick with this messaging and just allow the absolute Category 5 shit show that is the Trump campaign right now, ever since he decided to select this weirdo, J.D. Vance. They just put a turtle on their back. They don't know how to recover from this. Every single day, J.D. Vance is dominating the news with all of his weirdness and Project 2025 fuckery. In fact, I think the only reason why Trump will ever want to ditch him is because he's taking away all of his negative media coverage. Hey, JD, remember? I'm the asshole. I'm the psycho. But really, that's how it has been ever since he selected J.D. Vance to be his running mate. Since there's 100 days left until the election, oh my God, 100 days left of possibly having a civilization. But really, Democrats, you got to stay on offense and just keep watching them step in it, because that's basically all they have been doing ever since J.D. Vance decided to join the shit show. Anyway, I'm Michael Hayne. This is Really American. If you enjoy our content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Talk to you later.